Hi, and welcome to Real Life with Jenny. My name is Jenny Senaparatna. Grab your favorite drink and a snack and we'll get started. Today I'm drinking lemon ginger tea, non-caffeinated, I know. And I'm actually not having a snack because I had a cinnamon roll with peanut butter on top. Oh, yum. Anyway, let's get real. Today I want to talk about fake it till you make it. That saying is become part of our culture. Around the world, I think. We fake it till we make it. We put on a smile on our face and we plow through. We pretend that we're qualified when we're really not qualified. We have social media that is all about just the good things, not the bad things. Let me give you a quick example that really is funny to me. So, I have a friend on social media. I would say she's an acquaintance. Wonderful lady. And I see her on Facebook all the time. She's someone that I follow. I follow on several different social medias. Just to keep in touch. We met, 10, 15 years ago. And it's just a nice way to keep in touch. And she's got really great photos. It's kind of amazing. Her photos of her kids and of her and all these things. And I saw her in person and did not recognize her. Because what I did not know is that on every picture she takes, she uses a filter. Now, good for her. Kudos. Teach me how to do that. Because I think my photos would be amazing if I were using a filter. But it was just very interesting to me because you never really saw the real her. We have taken this fake it till you make it into a lot of pieces of our lives that I don't know that maybe is the healthiest thing. I don't know. This is just my opinion. I'm not a psychologist and I'm not, you know me, I'm just me. So I kind of wanted to talk about how I have spent a lot of my life trying to fake it till I made it in different areas. So in one of those areas is obviously social media. I struggle with being super authentic because sometimes when you're like, we had a bad day and everybody's like, oh, that's so sad. You are like, no, really, it's okay to have had a bad day. It's hard to be Debbie Downer on social media. It's also hard to be vulnerable on social media because right now we're not in a season that people are like, oh, let's be kind and generous to one another. Hey, no, let's debate everything. And I'm not really in that space. So I think that social media is one of those places that's very hard to be extremely vulnerable. But I am trying to find ways to be vulnerable because I don't want people to feel sad for me. I want people to be challenged and people to be like, okay, it's okay to have a bad day. Because we all have them. Some of us have them more than others. And you go through seasons in life. So one of the things on social media is I do a lot of photos. Photos is something that is really important to me. I love pictures. I made a bucket list probably when Sam was 1 year old, so 12, 13 years ago, of all the things that I wanted to do with my life. It is things like go to continents, to specific continents. It's learn how to make homemade pickles. Yeah, I haven't done either of those because pickling really scares me. Anyway, if you know how to pickle, get in contact with me. I'd love to learn. But one of those things was to take pictures of Sam's life. I really wanted to capture her life, and not necessarily that I needed to put them on social media, but that I would have them. And so I kind of just fell in love with photography and fell in love with, I'm not a professional, nothing like that. I just really enjoy taking that and then using those pictures and putting them up around my house with scriptures to remember to pray. So when I'm taking pictures, Samantha now knows that I take 7 pictures for every one I keep. So we take a lot of pictures when we're out and about. So I'm very meticulous with my pictures. Is that maybe not meticulous? So when I'm taking pictures and I put them on social media, you never see the story behind them. So let's take, for example, for my birthday this year. For my birthday, I really wanted to go to a sunflower patch. That was something that I've always wanted to do, but I'm always too busy in the month of August, September when they're in full season here in Minnesota. And so this year I'm like, we are going to a sunflower patch. So I got my sister to come with, and her puppy and our puppy and my daughter, and we went to the sunflower patch. And it was really great for me. I loved it. I was like, we're in the sunflower patch. I felt like Anne of Green Gables running through the fields between those kind of things. That's a little weird. Maybe Anne of Green Gables didn't run through the fields. Oh, well, it doesn't matter. I just felt free. I was like, this is just amazing. Now, my daughter, on the other hand, has two fears in life. One is snakes, and the other one is anything that's flying that's yellow and black. Those two things throw her. It's not funny for her. It's not funny at all. And the day we went to the sunflower patch, every sunflower had 2 to 7 flying insects on every single sunflower. And she was not happy. Now, she went through it. She was a trooper. She had a really great attitude. But it was very hard to take really great pictures because they would fly by our head and we would lose her. Ah! Okay, I'm not going to really scream because that would be not fun for your earlobes. Or she'd duck, and so you'd get like half of her in the photo. But I didn't put any of those pictures up on Facebook. Why? Because you don't necessarily put your worst foot forward on Facebook or on social media, I should maybe say. So that's one area in my life that it is fake it till you make it. Everybody saw the great photos that we had that day, not the bobbing and weaving away from the yellow and black insects that were flying around. The other thing that I have really struggled with being real is my health. I am not the healthiest person on the planet when it comes to my body. I have had a body, I don't mean like fat or thin. I deal with a lot of health issues. And one of those health issues has been kidney stones. And that's another episode, another time. But I got to the point that I would be at work and I would pass a kidney stone at work and keep going. Now, if you've ever had a kidney stone, you know that that is not the healthiest way to handle kidney stones. And I wouldn't share it with people because I didn't want people to think I was weak. Because if you've never had a kidney stone, you don't understand the pain and the stress it has on your body. I've been to the ER 2 or 3 times for kidney stones in the last 12 years. The rest I've taken, I have had them pass at home. A lot of them have passed at work. And I never allowed people to see that weakness. So people just never saw how much pain I was in and how much I was struggling to have a good attitude because of my health. The third thing is I have always hid my unhappiness. I work very hard at being a half glass full person. I work very hard at being bubbly and excited about life because that's not my tendency. I tend to be an Eeyore. I feel like, I like gloomy days. I like when it's raining, silly stuff like that. But when I was working full time, I really regret that I would leave the building and go cry somewhere else. And I'd go to a parking lot with my lunch and I would just cry for the half an hour that I had. And then I'd come back to the school and pretend to be happy. I regret that. I regret faking that I was a happy person. Now, there were a couple of people that knew that I wasn't very happy and that there were things going on. But I really wish I would have taken that time and gone to be with some of the other people I work with and just kind of say, hey, I'm not having a great day. How's your day going? And having lunch with them and sharing life. Because I think faking it till we make it causes us to have a division sometimes because we want people to only see the best in us. And that is not the way to live life. The way to have authentic relationships and real relationships is sometimes to be vulnerable and show our weaknesses. So with all of this, I started thinking about what God says. I know, making a turn here, but really, what does God say about faking it till you make it? You know, there are several things in the Bible that I've been pondering and thinking about. And one of those is Moses. He is one of those men that we think about in the Bible that had nothing wrong. I mean, he was just an amazing leader, and he parted the Red Sea, and he got the 10 Commandments, and he led the Israelites around the wilderness. Like, they were amazing things this man did. But there are a couple things that I've thought of that the fake it till you make it works for him. One of the things is when he was at the burning bush and he was talking to God, he did not have the confidence to move forward with what God was telling him to do. And I don't think God was like, hey, fake it till you make it. I think God gave him the confidence step by step. He didn't make Moses into the man that walked up to the mountains and got the 10 Commandments the day he was at the burning bush. It was a day-by-day process, trusting in God and being vulnerable with God and learning from him to be confident. And I think that's part of what I really feel like with this. I feel like when we are fake, we pretend, even to ourselves, that things are okay, and we don't allow ourselves to grow. And we don't allow ourselves to dig into what God wants for us and take the next step. Take the step so I can be the man on the mountaintop, although I'm a woman who doesn't like to be outside, so I don't want either of those things. But that God could bring me to the next level, but I have to do that step by step. That's a day-by-day process for me. Another person that I think is probably one of my favorites is Gideon. Gideon was scared of his own shadow. If you read through that part of the Bible where Gideon and Judges, where he's been talked about, he was not a man that was like, I'm going to take this and go for God. God really had to push him, and he really had to give him a day-by-day confidence too. And I think Gideon and I are very similar. I think a lot of times we hear from God or we see a plan that God has and we're like, yeah, I'm not real sure that that's a good idea. Let me take a couple beats here. And the fake it till you make it, there you would be like, I'm going to do this because everybody needs to see me do this. And I think God can fill that fake and make it real. And make it a real thing. And that's what I want. I don't want to have to fake my confidence. I don't want to have to fake my happiness. I don't want to have to fake anything in my life. I want to be able to learn how to have it. And be able to have bad days. And be like Moses, who had a temper. He got really mad a lot in the Bible. And God still loved him for who he was. God didn't say, hey, Moses, straighten up or I don't want to be around you. He loved him for who he was. And I think that's something that we've lost in our culture. I think we've lost the ability to love people and love ourselves for where we are. I have a real fear of not being perfect. I know, you're shocked. But I have a real fear of people not seeing me in my best light. Yes, I do go out of the house without my hair being done all the time. But I have a real fear of people judging me and me feeling inferior to people and allowing people into my inner feelings. It's very rare when I really show everything to people. I have a hard time showing weakness. I even have, this is going to be weird, but I even have a hard time not being the perfect housewife. I know, I'm not, but when my meals don't work out and I make a new meal, make a new recipe, I feel like a real failure and I feel like I've let everybody down. And I would never put on social media, oh, look I failed at this. And not that I suggest doing that, by the way. But I don't think that we allow people in our lives to be on the highs and lows with us often enough. I don't think that we allow ourselves to have the highs and lows enough. We're really hard on ourselves when we've had a bad day, or we've lost our temper, or we're afraid, or we've made a mistake. We're really hard on ourselves, and we don't give ourselves grace, and we also don't give other people the grace that they need when they're not having that great of a day. You know, one of my pet peeves is when people are rude, and my daughter has been really good at reminding me, you don't know what their day was like before they got to you. And she's right. People don't know that, and we don't take the time anymore to get to know people. And my goal with this is, I think authenticity is something that is so important to me and becoming more and more important to me. My authenticity with God, that I am being real with Him. I am letting Him be in every part, even the crummy parts when I'm failing at something, or I'm losing my temper here, or feeling depressed about something, or feeling out of control. Allowing Him to be part of that is really a big deal to me. And allowing a friend or two or three to be part of that journey too. I feel like I've made some really bad decisions when it comes to friends throughout my life, and have trusted people that maybe were not the most trustworthy, because I want an authentic relationship. So I'm praying for discernment in that area. But I feel like people who are attracted to my authenticity are the kind of people I want in my life. I want someone that's going to see my flaws and still go, you know what? I still like you. You're funny. Or you're not funny and you are a really good cook. Whatever. They see see the bonus and the negative. And I just want to let go of the people that cause drama when they see my flaws. That see my flaws and go, let's exploit that. And there are people like that. So authenticity is something that I really want to start working towards, and I hope you do too. The other thing I need to be authentic with is myself. I need to start allowing myself to have all of the range of emotions. I mean, I've said it before, being on a roller coaster, right? You start the day like, and then you plummet, and then you go back up. And that might have to do with caffeine for some of us. But it's still something that I feel like I don't give myself enough grace. I don't allow myself to be authentic and say, you know what, I'm tired. I need to just rest. I don't need to work like a crazy person to prove that I am a good person. I don't know who that was just for other than myself. But really, that's part of I feel like I need to be going 24 hours a day, or I was not productive in a day. And sometimes productivity is taking a rest. So I don't know who that was for, but you need to take a rest. So I don't know what this authentic fake it till you make it means to you. I would love to hear what it means to you. But one of the things that fake it till you make it does is it takes away the opportunity to fail. When you fake it till you make it, you never have the opportunity to learn from your mistakes, because you're always in pretend mode. You're always not being really who you are, not chasing after the things you really want. You are faking it. And I am encouraging each and every one of you to take some time and figure out what you're faking and how you're going to figure out how to be real. Maybe not with everyone, maybe not on social media, maybe that's not the place that you should be going, but let's start with being real with yourself and real with the Lord, and reading in His scriptures and seeing the people that He loved and He cherished and He did miraculous things through, and they were flawed people. They were not faking it till they made it. They were just not making it. They were making mistakes left and right. And so are we. And that's okay. And God still loves us. And He still has a big plan. When my daughter was a little baby, well, not baby, probably 6 or 7, She said to me, Mom, my goal is to someday be in the Bible. And I was like, oh, sweetie, you can't be in the Bible. It's already been written. But that is such a good goal, because the people in the Bible were real and authentic and had problems and made mistakes and sinned and did all kinds of crazy stuff, and God still used them. And so my prayer for you is that you figure out how to be the authentic you. Someone's probably going to go, oh, wow, I had no idea you were so blank. And you're going to go, oh, no, people are seeing the real me. It's okay. You're a great person. I'm a great person. I've got flaws left and right. I mean, we could all list them off. I could spend a whole podcast talking about my flaws. Oh, not a good plan. You probably would want to listen to the next one after that. But take some time and really step out of the faking your life and realize who you are and who God's made you to be. Well, that's all I have for today. I just pray that you find some real time, some authentic time with the Lord and with yourself, and that you can find a few people that you can really be real with and share life with. Like I said, I wish I would have gone back to my old job and chosen a couple of those wonderful ladies to just walk through life with. And I know that God's got people like that right now in my life that I am walking through life with. But take a risk. Take a risk and be real. Well, you can follow us on Real Life with Jenny on Facebook and on Instagram, because my daughter's taking care of that. Woot, woot. You can also find us on christconnection.cc/Jen. Please connect, and let's get real this week. Have a great day.